Pikani atsimu ihkan. Ayu nina. Ayu ihtipatapiup. Is pummokin. Nog kohtokin. Is pummokina. Na kohkitsik skatopinaan se pomapi. Ayu ihtipatapiup. Noks pummokinaan. Zakko meitapi. Na tuusi. Noks pummokinaan. Na piosin. Säästyvatsimaan. Mi sami päätäpiisin. Kamutaan ai.
If we don't really look into what has occurred in our past, things like our history, historical trauma, where we've gone, that our education means nothing.
So the Bear River commemoration began almost 30 years ago, and it was formed at a time when a lot of research and a lot of the situational understanding of academia, of the education in general, started to really look at how ignoring things that were very impactful among a group of people in the past really had residual effects in the way that we see contemporary people.
I want to just read a couple of things to exemplify and underscore the type of trauma that our people felt that day at the Baker Massacre. The soldiers all advanced upon the lodges. My soldier was still holding firmly to my arm. They shot at the tops of the lodges, cutting the bindings of the poles so the whole lodge would collapse upon the fire and begin to burn. Burn and smother those within. I saw my lodge go down and burn. Within it, my mother, my almost mothers, my almost sisters. Oh, how pitiful were their screamings as they died, and I there, powerless to help them. We're still alive and them trying to burn all that they tore down. Burn the dead under the heaps of poles, lodge skins, and lodge furnishings, but they did not well. I sat before the ruin of my lodge and I felt sick. I wish that the soldiers had killed me too. In the center of the lodge where the poles had fallen up on the fire, it had burned a little, then dried out. I could not pull up the lodge skin and look under it. I could not bear to see my mother, my almost mothers, and my almost sisters lying there, shot or smothered to death.
The mountain chiefs, and they're the ones that Eugene Baker was looking for. And when they stumbled upon Heavy Runner's camp, it's really unclear whether or not he knew that was Heavy Runner's camp, or if he basically just decided that it's a camp and we're going to attack. A lot of the empirical evidence of his decision making was based on the fact that he was inebriated by alcohol, and which many of the soldiers involved in that were as well. And really that was their only incentive, to be out in central Montana in the middle of January with no other resources.
Our history has many things like the Baker Massacre. So the process is that we got to recognize what are the traumas back here, go through the pain and honor and suffering of that, and then come up here and heal.
One of the essential components in healing is reconciling and recognizing what's happened in the past. One of the first things that BCC was really instrumental in was getting the name recognition changed. Whereas before, the Bear River Massacre was the Marias Massacre, or the Baker Massacre, named after Colonel Eugene Baker, who basically ordered the troops to attack Heavy Runner's camp on that cold January morning. And so by changing the name, we changed the way in which it is now viewed. And from a cultural standpoint, that is really how information is passed down, to the point where we can recognize what happened, we can learn from it, And we can help and encourage others to learn from that same experience as well.
So the commemoration today, the resolving of what happened years ago, is critically important to us, not only personally as we deal with our own losses, but collectively. We're the Blackfeet, we're the Community, and collectively we know that in strength we can combat trauma. We can work through this trauma, and this event allows us to do that.
Pikani atsimu ihkan. Ayu nina. Ayu ihtipatapiup. Ispummokin. Noh kohtokin. Ispummokina. Na kohkitsik siiks katopinaan seepomabi. Ayu ihtipatapiup. Nuks pummokinaan. Ksakkuhmiitapi. Na tuusi. Nuks pummokinaan. Na piosin. Säästyvatsimaan. Misami päätäpiisin. Kamutaan ai